The Australian Safari is Asia Pacific's ultimate off-road adventure, competing in both 2 and 4 wheels and traversing 5,500 kilometres across Western Australia's picturesque outback over 9 gruelling days. It's an epic journey that explores the vast expanses of Australia's largest state. It is the ultimate battle of man and machine against the forces of nature. This epic journey starts in Camaraderie in Western Australia's far north and heads south to Perth. Western Australia provides the perfect backdrop for this world-class event. The safari moves from the spectacular northwest Kimberley region through the Golden Outback and south towards Perth. The event takes in some of the world's most spectacular scenery, a dramatic landscape with breathtaking untouched countryside. The area is world-renowned for its pristine remote wilderness and is blessed with a rich diversity of contrasting terrain. Western Australia is a staggering 2.5 million square kilometres, a single state the size of Western Europe and 3.5 times the size of Texas. After a gruelling 9 days, the field reaches the city of Perth, one of the most picturesque cities in the world. This is Australian Safari. This is an overview of the event, a staggering 5,500 kilometres over 9 days, 23 cars, 81 bikes, and sleep is at an absolute premium. Here are just a few of the names on the big bike entry list, headed up by Adrian Channing, Ben Grabham, one of the locals to watch out for, Casey McCoy and Jonah Street amongst some of the experienced internationals that have come to Australia. Now in the auto or car division, John Heddericks is there, along with the Denhams, some very experienced campaigners, and a variety of manufacturers represented. Plenty of nervous anticipation for the teams, the riders and the drivers. Final preparations. After months of tireless work on cars and motorcycles, it has all come down to this as they prepare to leave Camaraderie for a 9-day marathon.
First time that the Australian Safari has been in Western Australia. It's the 20th anniversary and we're very excited. We've got beautiful Camaraderie. I just hope they'll have a spectacular and pretty tough race at the same time.
Adrian Channing, bike 2 aboard the KTM. He's from Broken Hill, the first to be waved away by Sheila McHale, the official starter for the Australian Safari. A great festival atmosphere as the teams make their way out of Camaraderie, excited about their prospects on the long, uncertain road ahead. Camaraderie to Fitzroy Crossing, presented by Michelin, the first of 9 gruelling legs, just under 700 kilometres south to Fitzroy Crossing. Although being first bike on the road was a great honour for Adrian Channing, it also meant he was a pioneer. Competitors are staggered at 1-minute intervals for bikes, cars are 2 minutes apart. The road was dry and dusty. Navigation plays such an important role in the Australian Safari. The competitors weren't given course maps until just before departure, which only adds to the challenge. It's a matter of settling into a routine and getting familiar with the environment. Many of our riders carried onboard cameras like that to give you a first-hand view of the course. Safari really is an endurance event. It is so important to pace yourself through the stages, preserve your equipment and ride to the conditions. We jump on board with Andrew Coker, teammate to Ben Grabham. He shows us the way.
Well, what's our... 10.11. Yeah, 10.11. We'll miss the turn.
Good job by Terry Anderson. Lost earlier, but he's navigated his way back into the game in the bike division. Meanwhile, in the cars, they set off at 2-minute intervals. First to lead was John Heddericks in the PWR Holden Rodeo, an awesome car with 8 Australian Safari titles already under his belt. Heddericks came into the event as a strong favourite. He's known for his attention to detail and meticulous preparation. Very experienced co-driver in John Williams alongside him, and if they can make this car last, they could be hard to beat. Rodeo, powered by a magic-sounding V8. Dust is always an issue for teams in the auto division, and Heddericks made a very strong start. The other highly experienced campaigner in the auto division is Terry Denham. And together with his co-pilot, son Michael, they will present a big threat to Heddericks. Denham has a fast car and he knows how to win this style of racing. First major casualty of the event, one of the bikes, number 27. It's Rob Pollard, who has come to grief early in the game. The first of many casualties as this course takes its toll. Thankfully, this event is very well organised, plenty of medical assistance on hand, and he was airlifted for further treatment. The helicopter boys play a critical role in servicing the event, especially in this vast, remote and harsh terrain. As the mercury climbed above 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the cars set a gruelling first day pace.
Keep going. Yep. Round to the left. Yep. Round to the left, through here.
So at the end of a dramatic first day of competition, let's check the moto results. Ben Grabham, an outstanding job on the Honda CRF 450. Adrian Channing, who led the field away, is second. And young Jacob Smith is starring in his first safari in the top 4. Here's the auto division results. John Heddericks on top. Terry Denham chasing hard, just over 2 minutes between them. Pit crews working hard into the night. Safari never sleeps for these guys. Leg 2 is the Fitzroy crossing to Broom, presented by Smoke Free WA. From Fitzroy crossing, the field heads west through some incredible countryside, 550 kilometres to Broom, located on the coast. Beautiful weather, clear blue skies, quite warm temperatures. 25-year-old Ben Grabham leading the field away. That CRF 450 sounds fantastic, holding it wide open. Ben Grabham, who hails from Bathurst and enters this event fresh from victory in the famed Think Desert race and part of the incredible Honda operation that are tackling this event. Here's our leader in the auto division, John Heddericks, really pushing, as you can see, running wide there, losing a little bit of time, trying to increase his gap on Denham. Even the leaders having their problems reading the course at this stage of the game. So difficult for Ben Green trying to plot his path. The wide open plains offering almost nothing there in the way of reference points. Ben Grabham setting the early pace on the bikes, while the young 18-year-old Jacob Smith, a wildcard entry with Yamaha, was setting some fast times on the course today. He hails from a motocross and supercross background, won an endurance event, the Kondo 650 heading in, and has really surprised many of the experienced competitors so far. brilliant scenery, grab them roaring across the open plains, reaching 170 kilometres an hour, and a dust vapour trail. Western Australia really is the ultimate off-road adventure playground. Just another example of the wide open spaces where you can go days without seeing anyone. Everything about this state is vast. To put it into perspective, Western Australia has private properties and cattle stations the size of England. The rough terrain really takes its toll on machinery. The Australian Safari is a tough event. It takes real drive and stamina to win. The outback town of Fitzroy Crossing is located on the banks of the Fitzroy River, 3 hours drive from the town of Derby along the Great Northern Highway. Now, the bridge is prone to flooding in the wet season, which in this part of the world is from December to March. As they crossed the scenic Fitzroy River, the field had a chance to wash away some of the dust and take in some of the magnificent scenery. Now, the moral to the story is never let your guard down, as Magnus Eriksson found out the hard way. Desperate to cool off, Eriksson took an impromptu swim, much to the delight of some of the eager spectators. Even the locals were out in force following the Australian Safari. Now this is overtaking Australian Safari style.
Move over, you Oi! Move over!
The first of our BF Goodrich magic moments undoubtedly goes to Robert Emmons in his Nissan Patrol for sheer ingenuity, even if there was a little bit of competitive impatience. It's dry, hot, thirsty work, the heat sapping both drivers, riders and very taxing on vehicles. Fatigue and concentration so important in this type of endurance event. Just when you think you've conquered everything the course has thrown at you, there's the rogue fence to contend with as well. Much of the Australian Safari is staged on private property, and as such, opening and closing gates is paramount, and yes, there's even a gate protocol for competitors to observe. There's plenty of camaraderie between the riders. While there's no shortage of rivalry, the sheer remoteness of the country demands they look out for one another. In many ways, it's a case of survival, with the elements being the common foe. Just 10 kilometres out from Broom, the dust was replaced by smoke. A large fire roared across to the course, creating a cloud of thick smoke. Bushfires are a natural part of life in Australia, and they presented yet another hazard for the competitors to contend with. With the temperature at a stifling 109 degrees, a sea breeze, it was unfortunately perfect conditions for a fire.
We had a few dramas today. We have lost first and second gear. So the boys are changing out our gearbox. We've also had a broken exhaust, which is being repaired now. We also did a tyre 6 k's from the end of the last stage, which damaged one of our handbrake cables. So we've had a pretty eventful day, but we got through it.
Adam Gregg's first-hand account after 2 demanding days across the outback. Everyone relieved to reach the coast, but for the crews, they worked hard into the night. Broom is famous for its spectacular landscapes, pristine water and beach resorts. The quintessential Broom experience is a camel ride along Cable Beach. Leg 3, Broom to Port Hedland, presented by westernaustralia.com. The race headed 630 kilometres south, tracking along the coast to Port Hedland. This region is defined by its crystal clear water and its vibrant raw landscape and rich colours. The countryside flashed by as the races tracked uninterrupted along the coastal plains hugging the Indian Ocean. Dealing with the dust is a huge challenge. It's not easy to overtake in a thick cloud, Reference points also become difficult to see. The safari also takes competitors through a number of historical mining towns. The long straights really testing the bikes, as Ben Grabham shows. Holding maximum speed for long periods puts the engines to the test in the dry desert heat. The bikes made quick time on the track as they raced along the scenic Indian Ocean. It's a lonely existence for the riders, and they had little time to take in the wonderful scenery of the ocean beside them. A navigational error cost Jacob Smith valuable time, which would see him give up second position overall and drop down the order. He lost over 15 minutes in Leg 2. The more experienced Adrian Channing, a privateer from Broken Hill, capitalised. Some sharp navigational skills moved him into second. The elements and the terrain are hard enough, but this is another curveball, and race leader Ben Grabham found himself in the middle of a roundup, herding cattle almost, and lucky to avoid a stampede.
Just had a little error with the map read, and I just come across some cows and couldn't quite pick up the right road, and I thought I did. I sort of went probably, I don't know, maybe 20 k's out of my way and back. It's all good, like there's a long way to go, I'm not stressed. Got plenty of speed out of the bike. It's going really well, and we'll just try and put in some good runs these next ones.
It was a bit tricky out there today, sort of right along the edge of the coast, and some tricky navigation parts. A couple of lead guys took a wrong turn and managed to get the right way. I'm not game to switch over to the speedo because trying to hang on and watch the distance, but I'm guessing in that heavy sand, probably 150 or something like that.
In the auto division, Owen and Cairns currently in 5th position. They're steadily moving their way through the field. Notice the change in surface colour as well. It's incredibly hard for these crews to set the vehicles up for the variety of terrain in the Australian Safari. Dunn and Coventry in their Toyota Land Cruiser are just behind Owen and Cairns, currently 6th. It's a close battle between them. Softer surface has changed the grip level, and it can make the going difficult for competitors. Got to change the mindset too in terms of the way that you tackle it. A rare minor off for John Heddericks as he chases time, trying to extend his lead over Terry Denham, currently in 2nd. Great combination this with Michael Denham and an exceptionally well engineered Mitsubishi Triton. The Denhams have been fast and consistent, but Holden man Heddericks is the current leader.
Today has been very fast, sandy, and rutted out tracks. We just have to stick to the track. The car was skipping around. The wheel track's definitely a little bit narrower than our car, and you just have to hang on both hands, and incredible speeds we're getting up to. The car's going really good. It's handling the hot weather great. It's running as cool as anything. So look, if we just take it easy now, like a little bit of a lead, not much, a little bit, and we just work on that one day at a time.
Clive Skilton from the US is relishing his time in Western Australia's outback.
We just loved those dunes, man. We was just straight through it. We had a good run there too, really good. So much potential for this race, particularly with the American competitors, because it's easier for us to come here than it is to go to Europe. And the sport is so big in America today, it's booming. I had a whole new attitude today, completely different. I'm doing different things with the car.
Skilton, one of the many international competitors. He lost an hour on stage 1, but is fighting his way back.
Absolutely fantastic, very open and fast, but having a ball. This is only a production car. We only get about 150, 160, and downhill we got to 165.
As the sun sets on leg 3, Andrew Coker is top of the moto standings on the factory Honda 450, ahead of the KTM entry of Channing. Ben Grabham, he is one to watch in 3rd on a mission. In the auto division, Reg Owen has moved up, as did Terry Tangles Connor in his Nissan Patrol. One of the real up-and-coming stars on the Australian motorsport scene is Jacob Smith.
Yamaha sort of rang me up and said there's a ride on offer if I want to come and race the Australian Safari, and sort of jumped at the chance. I raced motocross and supercross full time, and I haven't done much off-road sort of thing, and I did this as a one-off event, and ended up coming on safari. It's totally different, you know, the fitness, the terrain, your mental attitude, everything. It bikes it up, then it's just totally different. Motocross, you sort of go out and ride flat out for 20 minutes or half an hour, and here it's like an endurance event. You got to go for the whole day and do like 500, 600, 800 Ks in a day. It is a mental game, you know, when you're doing so many Ks a day, you have to just keep on to what you're doing. Like, so if you doze off or, you know, don't sort of keep on your maps, you know, you could end up in the hospital. To get the bike to Perth is the main focus, and I just keep riding the way I am and staying on my maps and not making any mistakes, and just trying to gain, you know, time here and there and see where we end up at the finish.
Leg 4, Port Hedland to Newman, presented by BF Goodrich. The distance 730 kilometres. The race now heading south from Port Hedland back inland towards Newman, which is the southern gateway to the stunning Karinji National Park, the second largest national park in Western Australia. The rugged terrain here presents the toughest challenge for the safari.
Yeah, we're using BF Goodrich tyres, which are the type that they use in the Paris-Dakar, the standard tyre, and they're so far proving to be excellent. The last 2 days have been really rocky and gnarly, and we've used the same set of tyres. We've got a new set on for today. The others were getting a bit worn, but so far so good. It's been excellent.
As we moved into rich iron ore country, the landscape takes on a distinct red tinge. Competitors knew the mountain challenge was not far ahead, and it was really a matter of pacing themselves for the difficult road ahead. In contrast to the flat, dusty tracks, everyone was looking forward to the mountain challenge the Pilbara region would pose. Many felt it was the leg that could make or break their campaign. Bike 2 and second at the end of the third leg. Adrian Channing riding the bigger KTM, a brand formerly ridden by the late Andy Caldecott. This team very experienced in terms of safari competition. The big worry for competitors always is fatigue. It plays a major role in this sort of event. You have to know how to pace yourself, when to go hard and when to conserve energy. It's a mental challenge too, just as much as it is physical. It's all about consistency over the entire 9 days. Some of the competitors living on just a few hours sleep each day. Here's Dave Schwartz. When you're in this situation, you've got to watch your maps. Rider goes down, but at the same time, it's a huge thing to chase. Checks that his rival is okay, and then heads on the road again. Nice smooth riding style, a trademark of the youngster Jacob Smith, youngest rider in the field, showing maturity beyond his years. As you can see, these sections are rocky, quite technical. A lot of riding skill comes into play here, but for the experienced competitors, this is where you can make ground. Neil Dunn has his entry maxed out, and they're looking for anything to gain an advantage here. Dunn and Coventry at speed here in the Toyota Land Cruiser. Coventry worth every penny in the navigator's seat. The spectacular Pilbara country is renowned for its incredible gorges, crystal clear rock pools, waterfalls and stunning scenery. Heddericks continues to lead the way in the auto division through the Pilbara. V8 sounds magic, and Heddericks listening to every word and placing absolute faith in what Williams tells him to do. All sorts of variety in terms of terrain in this part of the safari. Incredibly hot temperatures as well, as Williams hydrates, as you can imagine, wearing a race suit like that, multi-layered. The heat inside the cabin, it really saps the driver's energy. Walters and Sinclair showing just how much of a pounding the cars and the suspension will take during this event. Teeth-shattering ride for Heddericks, and there were plenty of breakdowns along the way as well. rugged track taking its toll. Dunn passes Connor and Smith. Now another unlucky rider in trouble and thankfully getting some medical attention. The Safari is not for the faint-hearted. Look at the shoulders. A real battle against nature for men and machine, and airlifted for treatment. Incredible. Just when everything seems as though it's going well for our leaders, Heddericks. Look at this. And they're not going anywhere there. Heddericks and Williams know they are beached with that car. Remember, this is first place in the auto division. Their Safari, they have built up a good lead. This could be game over for Heddericks and Williams. Will they be able to get the car out of trouble? The Holden Rodeo is stuck. Here's second place, Terry Denham on the scene now. And what incredible camaraderie here. Denham has pulled Heddericks and Williams out of trouble.
Person's ready with a snatch strap. Well, you know, you don't lose much time to throw the hook it on and drag them out. So yeah, that's, you know, just an unwritten rule sort of thing. No one wants to beat anyone else just because they're stuck in a gutter and everyone drives past. It'll be not much fun, and we're all here for fun.
A defining moment in the Australian Safari, and it's one of the things that's unique to this sport. A rival helping a fellow competitor out of trouble. For Greg and McNally, two Kalgoorlie boys with plenty of local knowledge, watch this. It shows just how dangerous the roads and safari can be. Not a pretty sight there, Rodeo all but written off. Testament to the safety standards in Safari. The competitors are okay.
We just come over the corner, over the crest, just a little bit wide, and cut the corner, corkscrewed us into the bush. Yeah, it was a pretty hard dump. It's just a standard cams cage, and it's done its job. That's basically it. We got all the good safety gear. We spent the money on that, and obviously it's paid off. We're all right, a bit stiff, but all good.
The Pilbara was the big winner on day 4. Ben Grabham edges closer to Adrian Channing in second place in the moto division, and Jacob Smith picking up a spot, the Yamaha rider now in 5th. Heddericks is still the outright leader in the auto division. His lead has been cut to 5 minutes. And that was the big story, Denham helping Heddericks on day 4. Leg 5, Newman to Meekathara, presented by Auto Trader magazine. A big one too, 826 kilometres south. And just over halfway through the Safari, the grueling pace really testing driver, rider and machine. The factory Honda rider Andrew Coker, top of the moto division, led the field away, followed by Channing and Coker's teammate Grabham. No rest for the wicked. The Meekathara leg, presented by Auto Trader magazine, was the second longest stage. Terry Denham holding on to second position in the auto division, but still pushing hard for first. He was able to nibble away at Heddericks' lead yesterday and further rewarded today, Terry Denham. Fong brothers, who left no stone unturned in their Land Rover. They're running back in 12th after some earlier mechanical problems, but the boys in good spirits and enjoying the challenge all the same. Jeff Olam in his Mitsubishi doing well, consolidating 5th position and in sight of 4th. Remember, the temperatures are soaring. Riders and drivers exhausted after a long hot day, second longest in the Safari. It's a massive event to stage this, and it couldn't have been done without the support of our major sponsors, Michelin and BF Goodrich. Woodstock Bourbon, of course, one of the official partners, and the Tourism Council of Western Australia doing a fantastic job, along with the City of Perth. Here's the auto division, Terry Denham and Heddericks trying to recover after that incident in the Pilbara. Dunn and Coventry Now here's the Swedish driver, Pelle Valentine. He overshoots a sandy corner, but regains. Good job, he'll have lost a little bit of time there. The Fong's going beyond the road in search of time, but that so often happens on the safari.
So we're back here at the back of the field now, but we broke the ball off the end of the diff house in a creek yesterday. It took us about 6 or 7 hours to get it fixed and get out of there. So good long stage. Trouble is we start behind these slow fellas, so probably be doing a bit of passing, I hope.
Ben Grabham has starred on day 5, moving ahead of his teammate Andrew Coker and Adrian Channing to take the outright lead. Jacob Smith is 4th. As you just heard, Tangles, Terry Connors has dropped back from a podium finish to the rear of field after losing 4 hours during the stage.
It was a good day considering, but we've still got 4 to go, and I think we've got 6 stages tomorrow, which would be a good chance to make up a bit of time. Speed's no problem. I just got to keep on the map a bit better, and once I do get back to the front, try and stay there. We've made it this far, so just try and keep the mistakes to a minimum.
Leg 6, Meekathara to Leonora, presented by Michelin. After 5 exhausting days, and just when you thought things couldn't get any harder for the field, they are now faced with the longest stretch, a marathon, 840 kilometres to Leonora.
The course yesterday was very rough, so pretty hard on the machinery, and you can crash out if you weren't paying attention. Today's probably a little bit easier, but it's going to be a long stage, and so the fatigue probably start to set in.
Today's the longest competitive stage in the whole event. I think it's 240 odd kilometres, so we're hoping for more, and we're slowly learning the logistics of the event, so our service crew should be up with us.
Today is a long stage, so I never drive a long stage like that, so it should be interesting.
It's been a good trip. Broom was a real garden spot, and Camaraderie was very nice, and it's very nice in Newman. A bit warm yesterday in Marble Bar, 39.5. So we're getting to see a bit of everything, mate.
If I can only do 1 race a year now, I mean, I've done lots of races. This is great, That's enough for me.
Leg 6 is underway. Ben Grabham may be the benchmark, but Jacob Smith is throwing caution to the wind, holding nothing back in his quest for first spot in the moto division. He comes from a strong motocross background, and despite his relative inexperience in safari competition, he showed a real liking for this endurance side of racing. This sport is generally favoured by the more experienced riders who tend to exercise patience, and Smith has shown that the younger brigade can certainly cut the mustard with the best of them. All roads now lead to the city of Perth. Riding through some brilliant scenery. Remember that our race leader Ben Grabham and Jacob Smith are on smaller 450cc motorcycles. There are bigger bikes in the field, and this has surprised many seasoned competitors in safari who thought by this stage of the game the 450s may struggle. What a great marketing story for the manufacturers Honda and of course Yamaha. Sparse vegetation, but so different to the sort of scenery we saw in the Pilbara. Some gate ethics coming into play there. Navigating at high speed is never easy, be it in the auto division or aboard a motorcycle. So reliant in the auto division on what the navigator has to say. And look at this from the rider's perspective, looking down at the maps, keeping an eye on the competitor in front, and of course the road conditions. 170 plus kilometres an hour, and on occasion we're confronted with this. Although they have crews, many of them, to provide support along the way, often the competitors have to play bush mechanic and fix things on their own. For Terry Denham, it's been a tough day.
It shot a tail shaft, so we pulled the old one out, and we've just been running in front wheel drive, and we just blocked the gearbox up with half a Coke can, and we kept it going.
It must be a bit disappointing. Surely.
Oh, extremely, but that's it, isn't it? That's what happens.
It's a hard event, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not easy to win.
No. Been trying a long while.
The smile masks the bitter disappointment for Terry Denham. His dreams of winning the safari all but over. It pushes him from 2nd to 4th position. He was chasing this man here, John Heddericks, in the factory Holden Rodeo. So that will give Heddericks and Williams a little bit of breathing space. Now look at the cars here, reaching over 200 kilometres an hour on the wide open roads. And spare a thought for the bike competitors, a mouthful of dust when they're caught by those in the auto division. Ben Grabham has amassed another 7 minutes on his teammate Andrew Coker. He is flying. The Honda's out in front. Jacob Smith closing in on Adrian Channing in third. In the auto division, Heddericks continues to lead in impressive style, extending by a further 10 minutes and now winning 5 of the 6 legs.
My name is Mark McCullough.
Hi, I'm Chris Hanley. Hi, I'm Tangles.
I'm Troy Carpenter.
And you're watching Australian Safari.
And you're watching the Australian Safari.
Titta på Australian Safari.
Leg 7 takes the cruise from Leonora to Kalgoorlie, presented by the Tourism Council of Western Australia. By comparison to the day before, it's a 370-kilometre sprint south to the mining town of Kalgoorlie. This shorter leg giving competitors and support crews a little time to catch their breath. Ben Grabham from Bathurst leading them away. Not content though with 4th position, the tenacious Jacob Smith continues to push hard, and he went on to be fastest rider of the day. It is busy for the riders, the tight twisting terrain in stark contrast to the wide open plains. It was a real test for the riders, who were continually challenged with a variety of contrasting extremes. Grabham took a little more conservative but a mistake-free approach, content to protect his overall 8-minute lead. On board with Adam Ryman, who shows us just how difficult it is to navigate at high speed. He had a strong leg though and moved into 5th position. This was a great chance for the field to really open the bikes up on the dry lake bed of Lake Perkalilli. It gives the competitors a rare chance, in fact, to actually get a glimpse of one another on the same track. Bikes sound magic in full flight. Wide open on Lake Perkalilli. Lush red earth that the riders and competitors are confronted with once again. The helicopter there playing a big part in the event. It not only allows the officials to actually monitor the safari, it of course serves as a medical rescue and provides a great camera platform, as you saw there. Because the distances are so vast, the helicopter is the only real means of rapid transport, and it helps to narrow the logistics divide. There's Heddericks in a commanding position at the moment as the overall leader in the auto division. The PWR prepared Rodeo sounds fantastic. Owen and Cairns, they're now 2nd overall in the auto division after a drama-packed previous day for this man, Terry Denham. Look at his aggression, fighting back, chasing a podium finish. Another great example of the camaraderie. Walters and Sinclair at the front there in the blue entry, getting a push start from the Swede. Big lock-up from Heddericks, who despite his advantage is continuing to push hard. Stalls. You can sense how relaxed this pairing are. They know that they're in a good position. The key with Safari is it is never over until the finish, and these two are well aware of it. Dunn and Coventry. Where they're going, they don't need roads. It was another opportunity, though, to open the cars right up. In some cases, more than 200 kilometres an hour. The navigator's maps all point to Kalgoorlie, one of the biggest producers of gold in the world. This safari also hosts an adventure tour category for both four-wheel drive and motorcycle enthusiasts.
We've been with the adventure part of that, so the non-competitors who have been following the program, they've had a great time. They've seen some of the best tourism things that you can see anywhere in the world here in Western Australia. We're actually travelling with one group who have won, courtesy of Trading Posts, a brand new car, a Jeep four-wheel drive, and they're driving it down from Kununurra all the way to Perth.
Jacob Smith was the fastest man in the Moto division in Leg 7, his efforts moving him from 4th to 2nd outright. Ben Grabham is still on top though and doing a good job aboard the factory Honda. Fastest by almost 3 minutes in the auto division was Terry and Michael Denham as they chase a podium finish. Hederick still leads.
We borrowed Mum's car. This is my wife's car, and we...
Really?
Yes, true story. And we popped a roll cage in it and did a bit of... they put a set of tyres on it. It's running everything standard. We're running in showroom class.
Oh, it's great. Look, there's no event like it. It's the properties you get onto. You just can't do it normally. Mate, it's nothing like it when the trees are just smacking on the side of the screen at 160.
It was really good. It was very challenging today. It's handled really well, actually. It's only in a showroom class, so very limited modification.
This stage suits us very well, the car, and also me. I really enjoy to drive when it's rough and tight and tough like this.
We only hope we're trying for third, get back up to third. Maybe second is a remote possibility, but Hedge has got to have a breakdown for him to lose now.
Leg 8, Kalgoorlie to York, presented by Woodstock Bourbon. The second last stage headed 722 kilometres west to the picturesque town of York, almost within sight of Perth. The bikes led the way. Jacob Smith still going hard. It's almost as though he has nothing to lose. Chasing Ben Grabham, the event leader in the Moto division, and Grabham has adopted something of a preservation strategy. It's a smart call too, riding a little defensively to ensure he wins. Note the change in vegetation too as we edge closer to the coast and to Perth. Adam Ryman, number 32, he makes a small mistake. Recovers well. Lush countryside, plenty of forests now. And Ben Grabham accelerating at full speed through the canopy there. Slippery surface for the competitors. Adam Ryman, 5th overall at that stage. This was voted the Michelin magic moment when he decided the quickest way to Perth was through a fence rather than going round it. Just didn't see it. So tough to call. He did react quickly though, surviving the tumble with little more than a scratch. Back with our race leader, Ben Grabham, leading the two-wheel division. He's in some trouble too. So navigation proving a little tricky for some competitors in the second last leg of the event. And they're playing follow the leader in search of the Holy Grail. It's become almost a big treasure hunt. Mike Leake takes a tumble. He's okay. Back on board with James Morgan. He's in trouble too. Incredibly, that's the same fence as Adam Ryman. Look at this on the replay here. How lucky is he not to go completely underneath the fence? Warning his fellow riders now not to make the same mistake he did. Denham in his haste there to figure in the top placings has pushed hard. Mr. Q lost his way. He still set the day's fastest time. While others struggled, Hederick and Williams, the leaders in the auto division, pushed ahead, cementing their lead. On board with Terry Denham, it's not just the bikes that are having trouble navigating.
I went through the fence. Look, there's the fence.
Valentine, the Swede in the smaller Isuzu Cross, relishing the tighter technical conditions. Well, we expected them to back off on the run home, but it's anything but. The Swede almost overshoots the corner. They are driving 10 tenths on this second last day of competition. Some good action here. The cars have been pushed to breaking point, so have the crews. York will be a welcome sight. It's located just over an hour's drive east of Perth. York sits on the banks of the Avon River in the gently rolling farmlands of the beautiful Avon Valley. In the moto division, it's been a gutsy ride by Ben Grabham, who suffered a heavy fall, injuring his shoulder. He may not be 100%, and Jacob Smith can now smell blood. In the auto division, Denham moved into third position after another strong leg and was fastest by 6 minutes. The leaders maintaining a commanding 1 hour, 8 minute lead. Here's Grabham.
I'm pretty sort of confident I may have pulled another 1-2 minutes for overall lead, and yeah, just look forward to getting out there tomorrow and getting it done.
Good day today, just took it steady and made sure I didn't make any mistakes. I don't think I made much time on Ben. He had a bit of a mishap today and I think he's pretty sore, but yeah, we got a good buffer on third place and just make it to tomorrow and see what happens.
We set a pretty consistent day. It was real tight and dusty, so we just basically just settled down and battled on and got to the end.
This is the final leg, York to Perth, presented by the Royal Automobile Club of Western Australia. It's the shortest leg too, only 250 kilometres to the city. They'll tackle some lush, rich countryside, quite different to the desert terrain we saw earlier, and here is where they are all heading. The final destination, Perth, a wonderful city where it meets the Indian Ocean, the climax to a brilliant event. Here's Ben Grabham. He just has to hold on to take the title. We're not certain how bad that injury is, but he's riding like it's not affecting him at all. A gritty ride from the youngster from Bathurst. And the factory Honda operation will be pleased with this. From dry, dusty roads, we're now confronted with some water, and look at this, even some mud, making it tough for the riders. Beautiful rolling farmlands. Here's Jacob Smith. Hasn't given up even after 9 torturous days. With 5,000 kilometres under his belt, he's pushing his Yamaha all the way to the finish. Forest terrain, another hazard for the riders, and that changes your whole perspective. Braking markers, and now in the auto division. More caution here. Don't want to make a mistake so close to home. Cooler, easier conditions. Remember, these guys have been cooped up in a hot cabin for 8 days now. The Swede with his hands full. You cannot afford to step off line here. You will be into the gum trees before you know it. Here are the Fong brothers, overtaking Mike Skilton's Jeep in no uncertain terms, so even on the run home. Positions changing. Back with John Heddericks, our leader in the auto division. Great job by the Holden operation. As more cars come through, the wetter sections of the road getting choppier. So close to the tree for the Fong brothers there. That'll get your attention. Just making the finish is a huge achievement. Well done to all the crews who've worked thousands of man hours behind the scenes to keep everyone on the road here. Heddericks and Williams in the PWR Holden, they take it. Worthy winners in the auto division, winning 5 of the 9 legs. And Ben Grabham, an awesome performance despite injury, riding through to take the win in the 2-wheel division aboard the Honda CRF 450. Here's the confirmed standings. Jacob Smith, an excellent second on debut. Adrian Channing home in third, and 3 different makes represented in the top 3. To the auto division, Heddericks and Williams with a massive margin over Owen and Cairns, and Denham fighting back for a podium finish with third. To the moto podium, a worthy winner, Ben Grabham. What a story. What a win.
We put in a lot of preparation, and yeah, I'm just happy it's all over and we got the result we're after.
Yeah, I'm stoked. You know, it all came together in the end. You know, being on the podium was the main aim, and to be up here in second place, it's definitely a good feeling.
After 9 tough days, it is time to celebrate. The auto competitors take to the podium as well. Well done to Hedrick and Williams.
To win 3 in a row in a car, that's just really good. We put so much work into this. It's not just winning the event. It's the 3 months lead up. It's the last 2 years of preparation, planning. And it's just a relief to be here and for it all to work out for us.
It's been a fantastic event. We did more damage today to the car than we have for the entire event. We took a mirror off one side and a wind deflector off the other, so we've had a real good run, and it's really good to be in Perth.
Congratulations to the organisers. The Australian Safari has been an outstanding success story, demanding, gruelling, set in some of the world's most spectacular countryside. Our thanks to our major sponsors, Michelin and BF Goodrich, and our official partners, Woodstock Bourbon, the Tourism Council of Western Australia and the City of Perth. Looking forward to bigger and better things in 2008 for what they're calling the Parry Dakar of the Southern Hemisphere.